And as world leaders are arriving in Dubai for the COP28 climate talks that begin tomorrow, closer to home here in South Florida, some of the top scientists and academics recently came together to address the crisis happening with our coral reefs.
Corals in South Florida, the Caribbean, and parts of Central America experienced a devastating mass bleaching event during what was the hottest summer ever recorded on our planet. The race to save our reefs is tonight's Don't Trash Our Treasure.
The Earth is warming up too quickly. The corals are not able to adapt on their own quickly enough, and they need our help.
How to move forward after what was the worst mass bleaching event ever recorded in Florida.
I don't think we will know how bad this event has been truly for these corals for at least a year to come.
Some of the top scientists and academics gathering at the Frost Museum of Science for 3 days in November to discuss where efforts to save our corals go from here.
The overall message has been hope. It was a devastating summer, and now everyone is working together to try to get to a place of where we're going to be ready for when it comes again.
This past summer boiled South Florida coastal waters with the highest temperatures ever documented, causing corals to lose the symbiotic algae that feed them, turning them bleach white as they slowly starve to death.
Many of the corals that bleached in July and August have now died, especially a lot of the staghorn and elkhorn corals. There's a few survivors left. As we move north towards Miami-Dade, the survivorship is a bit better. There are more corals alive, but the situation is still pretty bleak.
It is those survivors that scientists hope hold the key to propagating the reefs of the future, identifying those supercorals that can resist disease and warming temps.
The fact that they were able to experience so much stress and still be able to live is really quite remarkable. It's something that we can learn from and try to use to hopefully help replenish some of the other reefs, some of the other corals.
It is the urban corals found in Port Miami and Government Cut that give scientists the most hope.
They're amazing. We are surrounded by death and destruction, and these corals inside the port are not dying. They are thriving.
Though many here did bleach pretty severely during the scorching summer, their recovery has been staggering.
The next month, 30 days later, fully recovered. They had all of their color back, they were feeding, death was minimal, so they seem to fare very well.
Natural selection has kind of taken a hand. Darwin has stepped in and actually shown us who the most thermally tolerant, hardy corals are, stress-resistant corals are in the population.
Breeding from these supercorals is among the most critical work being done at land-based facilities like the University of Miami's Rosenstiel School, a Noah's Ark, where different species of the hardiest of corals that can grow quickly are fostered until they can be outplanted back on the reefs.
So there are ways we can build this thermal tolerance and heat stress resistance into the population. We just need some time.
But beating the clock will not be easy. Our oceans have been increasingly warming, especially over the past 50 years, and restoration efforts must ramp up to keep pace.
But we need to be making more assessments of what these individuals are capable of so that we are making intelligent decisions about what we put back out on the reef so that we can grow them back.
We have the science that suggests there is a way out of this. This buys us time. It buys us a few decades for us to get the climate crisis under control.
Symposiums like this one at the Frost fuel the mission. Not only space to exchange ideas and the latest data points, but also serving as a pep rally, especially when the work ahead is so daunting.
The amount of motivation that I have seen from some of the smartest people I know is pretty amazing.
This tells us it's not time to give up. There are smart people that are willing to do whatever it takes to save these ecosystems, and I am humbled to be a part of that experience.
The Department of Defense has joined forces with University of Miami scientists to build hybrid reefs made of concrete and coral that could be a possible solution to protect coastal cities that will face the worst effects of climate change, like flooding and erosion. An estimated $20 million project, by the way. Healthy coral reefs are not only vital to our resiliency, but also represent $375 billion a year to Florida's economy. The Reef Florida Symposium will be back at the Frost Museum next year. For more info, scan that QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the Don't Trash Our Treasure page on local10.com.
Wow, that is incredible, but somewhat encouraging to see that some of those corals are coming back even though they were bleached out.
Yes, but if we don't get the climate crisis under control, all this does is buy us time. So unless we bring down those global greenhouse gas emissions,
Right.
then all these restoration efforts will be in vain.
All right.
So
Wow.
it's up to us to really step up.